So if you want a stretchy bind off on your project, then we are going to use the back stitch bind off. And in order to do that, we're going to unthread our machine. Now this is on a sweater that I made. If you guys would like to see that sweater, I'll put a link to that video up here. So what we want is we want to cut our yarn 3 lengths of our work. And then we are going to thread that onto a yarn needle. Here's my yarn needle. This is a metal one, but I also really like using a plastic one because it's more flexible when you are trying to bind these projects off. So here is how we are going to do our bind off. We're going to go through the loop we have at the end, and we are going to come out the next loop. Make sure you make that loop pretty tight. And that helps to secure your yarn. Now we are going to go through the first stitch, and it helps to bring out your work. Going behind the second one, and you might want to make sure that you're behind everything. And then we're going into the third stitch. And we're just pulling our yarn through. Now the other day I was doing this bind off and I couldn't get through my third stitch good. So you can go through the second one and then back through. I'll show you how to do that. So now we're going back. We're making sure that we are behind all the loops here, and we're going into our third stitch. But if you can't go into your third stitch yet, sometimes you can just come through here and then go straight into your third stitch. And now your yarn can get tangled up when you're doing this, so just keep that in mind. Now you can see right here, when I go through this stitch, you can see this string here. Sometimes that will get under your needle. You want to make sure you go over that. Then we're going behind and through our next stitch. So I like to hold this yarn here so that it doesn't get tangled up on any of my needles or anything else. Okay, and that's what the bind off is. I will show you when we get to the very end how to end your bind off. Okay, here we are at the end, still going through the stitch before we came out, behind the second, into the third. So when we get to our last stitches, we're still gonna do that. So now here, when we only have 2 stitches left, we're going in, and then we're just going in that last stitch. And then we're going to go in that last stitch again to secure our yarn. So then we'll be able to take it all off of our machine. And just pull it right off. And remember, we were looking for a stretchy bind off. And this is nice and stretchy.